Breaking news for our viewers in the West. A stunning report just out. It shows a record-shattering 6.6 million Americans filed for unemployment benefits last week. That is double last week's record report. Rebecca Jarvis starts us off with the latest. Good morning, Rebecca.
Good morning, George. And it's hard to even wrap your head around these gigantic numbers. The most optimistic takeaway is that Americans are doing what they've been told. Businesses are shuttered. People are staying indoors. But more than 6 million people were laid off last week. 6.6 million plus people laid off in a single week. That is the equivalent of all of Houston, all of Phoenix, all of Philadelphia, and all of San Jose. Every man, woman, and child in those cities laid off in a single week.
This morning, a mind-boggling report on layoffs. More than 6.6 million Americans filing new claims for unemployment insurance last week, the largest number in a single week ever, and 2 times as many as the week before. With so many across the country already struggling and out of work, phone lines and websites to apply for unemployment insurance are jammed.
This is probably going to be about my 30th time calling today. Let's see how it goes.
Welcome to the New York State Department of Labor Unemployment Insurance.
Juliana Calderon was a restaurant server in Long Island, New York, who tried to file for unemployment the day after she was laid off.
I have been trying to file for unemployment for about almost 2 weeks.
As the epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic, New York has seen telephone calls to the Department of Labor increase 16,000% and web traffic up by nearly 900%. But the problems are prevalent everywhere.
I've applied for unemployment. I haven't heard back. Other coworkers, the same story. I guess they're overloaded with requests.
When we were furloughed, I immediately filed on their website, which took days, honestly, to file. Even just to get signed on took me 5 hours.
I am calling Texas Workforce Commission just to see if we can get through.
Economists warn the jobs picture will continue to worsen before it gets better.
We know that the illness and the contagion will get worse. We also know that the fatalities will get worse, but there's also fatalities in the economy. And that's what makes this crisis so unique and hard, is it's on all sides. We're getting hit on every side.
Time that for many like Juliana is running out.
I have decided to start weighing in the possibility of maybe applying to a local food store. I would prefer to stay at home, just as we are advised, but some of us don't have the luxury of waiting around for a check to come in. And I'm definitely one of those people.
And given today's numbers, we now know that over the last 2 weeks, more than 10 million Americans were laid off from their jobs. Even if you look at the data, those unemployment claims, we know that a lot of people, as you heard there, have not been able to file because of issues with the system. They haven't been able to get through on those unemployment insurance websites and through those call lines. So we know that there are even more people than those numbers reflect looking for help right now. Here's what you need to know. You do have to apply for that unemployment insurance in order to get it. Unlike those stimulus checks, the $1,200 checks, which should be going out in the next coming weeks, you have to go through the websites, through the phone lines to get it. A lot of states have been building up and improving their systems in order to make it more accessible for people. They never anticipated such a gigantic influx of new people needing that relief so quickly, and that's what's really bogged down the system. But they are making improvements. And the most important thing, if you are unemployed and you recently lost your job, to know is the insurance is there. Be patient, keep those applications coming, and finally, you will eventually get those stimulus checks, the $1,200 stimulus checks, automatically deposited into your bank account. A lot of people want to know, what does the new normal look like on the other side of all of this? When will those jobs come back? And the key question there is, what does the economy look like on the other side of this? A lot of people clearly are in pain right now. They are feeling this right now. But there are also a lot of businesses that are rising to the occasion, rising to the challenge, doing what they can for their employees. And they tell me that on the other side of this, they plan to hire those people back. Traffic might be down a little bit in the near term, but in the longer term, as businesses look to the future, they believe that those employees will come back. George?
Thanks, Rebecca.